What's going on, guys? My name's Rasean, and I am the host of Motivate, Grind, Succeed, the podcast, as well as your favorite internet neurotransformation coach. And today's episode, we are going to be discussing the three biggest decisions that are going to significantly impact your life. These decisions are honestly so crucial for your personal success and your personal growth that making these decisions wrong will quite literally be the life or death of your personal development journey. So let's hop right into it. We understand that life is full of many, many small decisions, but very, very few stand out. And so we're going to explore what these decisions are and the importance in them shaping your future. So what are the three decisions? They all start with P to make it super easy for you. So if you're taking notes, they all start with P. The first one is people. You become who you spend the most amount of time with. Remember, birds of a feather flock together, and the whole you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. We know these quotes, right? They're in our heads. You know them. So what you want to do is actually implement that and surround yourself with people who uplift you and people who challenge you. So as a personal example, it wasn't until I went to college and associated with other engineers that I actually started to see some progress in my engineering wisdom, right? When I was in high school, I didn't have a ton of engineering exposure and experience compared to what I had when I was in college. And so me wanting to be an engineer, naturally the circle that I was in when I was in high school was not full of engineers. So naturally, you're not going to get the engineering wisdom, or at least I wasn't going to get the engineering wisdom that I needed in order to become a better engineer. When I went to college and everybody who I'm interacting with is now in my major, now I'm realizing I have no choice now. I naturally have to grow as an engineer because that's all I'm surrounded with. This is what they talk about. This is what they discuss. These are the things that they look at. I'm now immersed inside of that environment. So now I'm forced to grow. This can also be a double-edged sword. This is also why I recommend immersing yourself. Because on one hand, if this is something that you truly want to do, and you immerse yourself in it, you have no choice but to grow. That's one side to this. The other side is if you immerse yourself and this is something that you don't want to do, this is still a positive because you immersed yourself in it and you realized very quickly this is not something that you want to do. So now you can just take yourself out and find something else. But you wouldn't have known that quickly had you just dabbled in it and tested it and tried a little bit of this and tried a little bit of that. You wouldn't have known had you just immersed full on, go to a seminar, go to an event, read this book, join this online group. You wouldn't have known that had you not have just jumped in on the deep end. So that is crucially important. The people you hang around with make a significant difference. This is why, including myself, people who say when you were younger and you hang around all these kind of people and you do what they do because you want to fit in, it's not until you change your circle. Some people even say to physically move out of your hometown if you have the capability to, and change your location to somewhere else. Then you will naturally have to adopt the way that they do things over there, wherever it is that you move to. And then naturally, when you do that, because you have immersed yourself in that environment, things begin to change. You start to do things differently. You start to think about things a little bit differently. The people that you hang out with are going to be different. No different here. It's just with personal development, you just got to find those people who are like-minded and want that as well. The second P is your profession, your job, your career, your business venture. This is also very critically important to you. Because this job, career, business, whatever it needs, we're just going to call it an occupation because I don't feel like saying job, career, business all the time. Your occupation needs to bring you satisfaction. At a very simple level, when you weigh out the pros and the cons of what it is that you do, there needs to be more pros than cons. To a reasonable person, otherwise, you will literally be eaten alive by what it is that you're doing. The cons will outweigh the pros, and then naturally, you're just going to want to switch and do something else anyway. So that's why you see some people sometimes switch jobs. They'll say that the job that they're at is good, but it's not attuned to their strengths, or maybe they have a different skill set that they want to utilize somewhere else. So then they'll go and change a position, or maybe whatever, right? You can fill in the blank. People who have worked in corporate just like me, you understand that people will switch jobs for a variety of reasons, but a lot of times it's because they want to utilize their skills somewhere else. They probably want to get paid more for it, obviously. In the same way, you need to look at your profession as, what is it that I do that I am truthfully satisfied with, that honestly, if I could do this for free, I would still keep doing it. Now, obviously, we all have to live. I know don't actually work for free. I understand that. But that's the question that you need to actually ask yourself, is what can I do that's so enjoyable that if I could just keep doing this for free, I wouldn't stop. That's how you know you usually are on the right track. And the last P is purpose. And don't worry, at the very end of this episode, I will give you something to actually help you to work with this. And so purpose, what were you put on this earth to do? So finding your purpose is a little bit highfalutin, a little bit. I've realized that in past episodes when I said, oh, you need to find your purpose, you need to do this, you need to do that, it's a little bit difficult. So I have 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself, and I'll have much more at the end. But for right now, start with these 3 questions to kind of get you kickstarted on what you can do to start finding your purpose. First question I have for you is, what have you done, whether recently, a long time ago, whatever it is, that you greatly enjoy, and can you help other people do the same thing? Question number 2, what is something that you talk about a lot, but you haven't actually done yet? And number 3 is, who is someone that you look up to and why? So why are those 3 questions? Very, very simply, like the 1-sentence answer for why these questions are the ones you want to ask yourself. So for question 1, what have you done that you greatly enjoy, and can you help others do the same? If you answer this question, something that you obviously greatly enjoy, like I said before, if you enjoy it and you do it for free and you just greatly enjoy doing it, it's going to come out. It's going to be something that you're passionate about. And chances are you can help somebody else do the same thing. Now, you might say, I'm not the best teacher, not the best. You don't have to be. Okay? You really don't have to be. That's just an excuse. That's a limiting belief. You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to be the best person to explain things. Your passion behind it will ooze through what it is that you're saying, and people will naturally ask questions the more you talk. It's how it is. Second question, what is something that you talk about but haven't done yet? Obviously, if you're talking about something a lot, but you haven't done it yet, you either lack the resources to do it or the resourcefulness to be able to utilize the resources you've already got to get it done. But you talk about it a lot means you must be really intrigued by this, really passionate about it. So obviously, this is something that is intriguing to you, which is good. That can help you find the direction for what it is you want to do in life. And thirdly, who is someone that you look up to and why? If you look up to Joe Schmo, and Joe Schmo is in some certain industry that you're interested in, obviously this person has done something or achieved something or created a name for themselves that you are impressed by, and you look to that person as someone that you want to model or imitate. That person has at least one character trait or some level of wisdom or a book that they wrote. Doesn't matter. That person has something about them that you are attracted to, and you keep getting drawn to that person. So reverse engineer it and figure out what it is that's actually drawing you to that person. And so with that, also with purpose, you want to live with intention. So this is all kind of piggybacking off of this living with intention point. I mentioned in last week's episode that sometimes we walk through life zombified. And it's very, very easy to do that because we have so many decisions that we need to make on a day-to-day basis. It's easier for our brains to just work in essentially a power saver mode, which is what it's designed to do, which is fine. But instead of living your whole life in zombification mode, where you realize, okay, one day I'm doing this, and the next thing you know, 5, 10, 15 years go by, and I'm still doing the same thing, and nothing has changed. It'll start to gnaw at you every now and again when you realize, wow, it's been X amount of years, and I haven't done anything to change my life. That's when people start hitting you with the, wow, you haven't changed a bit. That's when that line kind of hits deep, and it doesn't hit deep in the nice way. They'll look at you, whoever says that to you, and go, wow, you haven't changed a bit. You haven't changed since high school. Ooh, that one's going to be kind of tough to swallow. because it almost sounds like you wasted a lot of your life, and time is the only thing that we're never going to get back. So you need to take this as your reminder to live with intention. Find out what it is that you're passionate about and pursue it relentlessly. So how do we do this? Let's go through those three again. First of all, evaluate the people that are in your circle of influence. You want to assess if your current friends and associates, acquaintances, whatever, align with your goals. You want to figure that out. How do we figure it out? Glad you asked. I have an ebook called The Social Blueprint that I talked about last week's episode, and I'll talk about in this week's episode. There's a section in there that we talk about evaluating your current circle of friends. Now, completely free for you to get. Link in description if you want to go ahead and check that out. It's a step-by-step guide for anybody who wants to get better relationships regardless of where you are in life, because it's a pretty lengthy ebook because it could be like 3 or 4 episodes on its own. So the book is there for you. Go to the link in description. Go ahead and grab that. Second, with your profession, this one should be pretty simple. Look at your job. Look at what you do. Does it make you happy? Are you happy with what you are doing, or are you just placating? Chances are this is going to come really, really easy to you, because if you don't like where you're working, no one needs to ask you, do you like where you work? You know deep down inside whether you like the job that you're doing or not. Understand, does this job align with your values? If it does, great. If it's not, you need to really take a hard look at what it is that you're doing, the company that you're working for, the business that you're running, the hobbies that you have, whatever it is. Take a hard look at it, and sometimes you need to make a switch, you need to make a cut, or sometimes you need to, unfortunately, tolerate it for a little while longer, because this is the step that you need to go through in order to get to the step that you want to be at, that promotion, that next position. You need to take a hard look and really plan out where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And as promised with the purpose one, you ask yourself some of those probing questions. I already gave you 3 of them, which are the what have you done that you greatly enjoy and you can help others do the same? What is something you talk about but haven't done yet? And who is someone that you look up to and why? You have those questions, but also in this description, you're also going to see a link to the Discover Your Passions Q&A. So in there, I listed 15 more questions. Yes, just 15 more questions that will help you to discover what your passions are. And so I designed the questions so that way you can hone in on your dreams, your aspirations, your goals, and also a couple questions in there to help you really ask what is it or who is it that could be holding you back from what it is that you want to achieve in life. Now, again, with both of the resources that I mentioned, both the ebook and the Q&A worksheet, they're there for you. They're both completely free. I made them for you. So go ahead and go crazy with it, but they're only as good as what you put in. Could you read I don't even know how many pages the book is now, like 30, 40 some page ebook or something like that. And could you just read it for entertainment value? Obviously. Could you just get the worksheet and say, oh, this is a nice worksheet, I'll do it later? Yeah. But for the 10% of people out there who listen to the show who I know really want better for themselves, I know you guys are going to take the action. You're actually going to you're going to read and implement. You're going to take the worksheet and actually answer the questions that are there. You're actually going to put in the effort and the action to actually do. Now, I'm hoping, this is my hope, that the people who are listening, that the 10% are actually the entire audience. That would be fantastic. Again, resources are there for you to go ahead, read, fill out, and hopefully they will actually help you out to start implementing some change in your life. So as we go ahead and conclude this episode, what I want to leave you with is the idea of you need to surround yourself with positive influences. The people you surround yourself with are one of the biggest decisions that you will make in your life. The second P, that is one of the biggest decisions that you will make, is your profession. What is it that you do? Because when you find that profession that you truly, truly do enjoy, then you can also figure out the second and third P, the purpose. They all go together. It's cyclical. You realize that now, right? That the purpose that you have will then drive the passion, and that passion that you have will then lead into the profession that you have. And that profession that you have will then cause you to be around other people that have the same purpose and passion and profession that you do. And it continues to be this self-fulfilling loop that will help to drive you to do more, better, and greater. That's what I have for you for this episode, guys. Take care, and please check out those resources. I would really love to see how they all work out for you guys, and let me know. Hit me up on Instagram or leave me a comment on the YouTube video. Let me know how those went for you, but they're there for you to go ahead and utilize. And I'll see you in the next episode. And guys, that's gonna wrap up this week's episode of Motivate, Grind, Succeed, the podcast. Guys, again, if you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe to the show for weekly uploads. If you love what you heard, be sure to sign up for that email list. And if you hated what you heard, be sure to share it with somebody who will appreciate it. Also, if you guys want to get access to the show notes or any kind of resource or link or to anything that was referenced in this episode, be sure to check out that episode description below. You'll also find the contact information, any freebies, or any sort of thing from our little corner of the internet. Check out the episode description. It's going to be an absolute gold mine for you guys. Until next time, take care, and I will see you in the next episode.